Good morning, Greenlight the Day family. Welcome back. My name is Jane, and today I want to talk to you about something that comes from imagination. You know, the possibilities that there are in imagination and how that greenlights my day. And I want to start by sharing with you this quote that thank you, Patricia, for helping me find it. I had come across this quote of like a week ago in a blog, and I couldn't find the blog because I was remembering the quote wrong. But somehow Patricia, in all her wisdom, was able to find it for me. And it comes from a book called Dwellings, A Spiritual History of the Living World by Linda Hogan, who is a Chickshaw uh, writer. She's Chickshaw and she's a writer, a storyteller. And her books is about nature, listening to the language of the earth, caves and trees and birds, which I love because after all, we're a part of that. We're a part of the earth, and we're all connected. All of us, down to our cells, are connected with all life, in my belief. So yeah, that plant I have over there is my cousin. So, anyways, so let me share the quote. Sometimes I hear it talking. The light of the sunflower was one language. There are others more audible. Once in the redwood forest I heard a beat, something like a drum or a heart coming from the ground and trees and wind. That underground current stirred a kind of knowing inside me, a kinship and longing, a dream barely remembered that disappeared back to the body. Tonight I walk. I am watching the sky. I think of the people who came before me and how they knew the placement of the stars in the sky, watching the moving sun long and hard enough to witness how a certain angle of light touched a stone only once a year. Without written records, they knew the gods of every night, the small, fine details of the world around them, and the immensity above them. Walking, I can almost hear the redwoods beating. It is a world of elemental attention, of all things working together, listening to what speaks in the blood. Whichever road I follow, I walk in the land of many gods, and they love and eat one another. Walking, I am listening to a deeper way. Suddenly, all my ancestors are behind me. Be still, they say. Watch, listen. You are the result of the love of thousands. And this is how I was remembering it. I was remembering to say, that we were a product of a thousand loves. So that's why I couldn't find it. But I love how that sounds. You are the result of the love of thousands. And this is where imagination comes into play. So when I read that, of course, it started making me think of all of humankind, right? And how all these love stories way before us, how they all culminated in us being here at this moment. We are a product of a thousand loves. So all our ancestors from way back when, from first man and first woman, that found each other and made it possible for us to be here. And when I was following that little storyline in my head, it started making me think of cellular memory. And when I started thinking about cellular memory, of course, it first made me think of like transplant patients and how you hear stories all the time about how transplant patients take on the characteristics of the donor, and how it's in the cellular memory, these qualities that they pick up on, that they adopt along with the organ. And then following that train of thought, it made me think of, sometimes you meet somebody and for a little moment, instead of, looking at them and thinking, I really want to get to know you, which we do. But before that, that moment before that, when instead of us thinking, I really want to get to know you, our cells look at their cells and say, hey, I recognize you. I remember you. And so that's the thought that I was thinking. That what if our cells hold the memories of those thousands of loves. And that's why when we meet somebody, even though they're new, they seem old to us and we fit. Because after all, they're a product of a thousand loves too. And that's how I'm going to greenlight my day, to think about those connections, to think about the ancestors, to think about the memories they left us in ourselves, and how cool it would be that not only is that how we have our longevity, right, by living in the cells, but also because they remember. And when we connect, we remember too. So I hope that you all have a great weekend. My oldest son is getting married tomorrow. Lee, I love you and I wish you a lot of happiness. You are a product of a thousand loves. And that's how I feel. We're a product of a thousand loves. And now our love is added to the number that goes on to our children and our grandchildren. I like that. Green lights my day. So y'all have a great weekend. All of you. We'll see you next week. Bye. Make it green, people. Make it green. Oh, and it's Valentine's Day. Don't worry about red hearts. Make it green hearts. It'll work. See you later. Bye.